What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Good show today, guys. We got a lot to talk about. Going to be talking about some Red Dead Redemption 2, of course. We're going to be talking about the PlayStation Classic. Yeah, the games have been announced. There's 20 games. We're going to get into that. Also going to talk about a little bit of Nintendo Switch. Going to be talking about one of my favorite characters coming to Smash Brothers. Can't wait for that. Going to also touch on Dragon Ball. Yes, the Dragon Ball movie, guys. Got some new information on that. And then last but not least, I'm going to tackle the debacle. Well, a couple of them if you want to keep it real. Fallout 76. And then there was a lot of shit going on at this most recent BlizzCon. And man, the gamers are not playing, man, out here in these streets. They're not taking shit from these developers anymore, man. I mean, it's starting to develop into something that, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, they couldn't do shit like this. Shit on, a lot of consumers and get away with it. Now you're going to get backlash, and a lot of these things are going to transpire if you try, to be sneaky or, you get too thirsty out here in these streets. But we're going to talk about all of that, guys. That's on the show. So let's get started. All right, guys. First, I kind of want to touch on Red Dead Redemption 2 and, what I've been doing. I mean, basically, I've been having the time of my life. I have a couple of my friends who chose to just go straight through the story. I'm not that guy. I'm still like, what am I on? Act 3? I'm still on Act 3, man. Doing that. So enjoying it. I'm just loving going fishing. I'm loving the playing cards, dominoes. I'm loving, the side quests, those missions where, I think I did a mission where I was hunting a white cougar for money because this guy owed us some money. And long story short, man, that cougar was a pain in the fucking ass. I died about a half a dozen times before I figured out what I needed to do to take his ass out the game. But it was fun, nevertheless. All of it was. Also got a release date for the online portion of the game. And right now it's been told that it's going to be released November 18th. Excuse me. November 18th is going to be the date. And I hope everybody's ready. Now, there have been some people saying that if they're going by GTA 5, then, it's only 2 weeks after the release. So somewhere around, next Friday is when they're talking about coming. But I don't know, man. From what I saw, from what I've heard, November 18th is what is being talked about as the date. So, we'll see. We'll definitely find out. And if that is the case, man, I'm ready. I'm ready, and I'm willing. I'm ready to get this party on the road. Bottom line, like I said, I'm not gonna rush through the story. I'm still taking my time, and I'll get to it when I get to it. How I typically play. I jump in the game. I ride around. I try to find side quests and things of that nature, and then, I'll tackle a couple main story missions or whatever here and there. There's so many of them, for the most part, and then. I kind of do that. And then if I get lost on my way to doing something, so be it. You know what I mean? If I set a trail and I'm planning on riding that trail, and then if something catches my attention, I will veer off. If I see a house in the back or if I see something I don't like, I'll veer off and start it. What I really love doing is, some of these NPCs piss me off, Let me give you an example. I'm riding into a town, or I'm about to leave a town. And, I ride extremely close to, one of these NPCs, not on purpose, just, we're trying to get by each other, whatever. And then one of them just happens to get fly and talk out the side of his neck and tell me, hey, you're getting too close. Or they say something smart like that. And, it pisses me off in a good way. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So I let him go on and ride off. And then I say, you know what? No, fuck that. I'm not going to let that shit ride. So I proceed to follow these motherfuckers like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, make sure they ride completely out of, field of view from anybody else next to a town. So, wherever they're going, I'm following them. And I'm making sure nobody is around. I'm making sure there's no witnesses or whatever. And then I kill them. I pick them off with a rifle. I do a number of different things. And I don't even care about looting them. They piss me off and I'm taking them out. You know what I mean? So I'll veer off. I'll ride side by side with them. You know what I'm saying? And then when we get far away from, civilization, I'll basically fork off into the grass and continue to do so until I can get a good shot, and boom, I take him out. I did this with, I had one bullet. This dude pissed me off and I had one bullet. Didn't realize I had it until the very end, but I had one explosive bullet, whatever you want to call it. Man, I'm not in the game to where, you can make those yet. I don't know how. No, let me change that. I think I have the recipe for that. It's just that it's hard to come by because you need animal fat and some other shit. But anyway, you're not going to have an abundance of those bullets, at least not right now from where I'm at in the story. And, I don't want any spoilers, so I'm not looking for any of those things. But man, those bullets are crazy, man. I actually recorded, I recorded the shot, man. I shot him in the back of the fucking head with one bullet with a fucking pistol, and his head exploded. I mean, like tiny little red, mushy confetti pieces, man. I was tripping out. I have to get more of those bullets. That's one thing I do have to get. And I hope they have these online because it's going to be crazy if they do. But I don't want them to get too extreme, and go over the top like GTA 5. But, give us some love. I think that, being in this server when this comes online is going to be cool because they said that it's going to be one of those things to where, you can play with a posse or not. I mean, if you want to, jump online and there's none of your friends available or whatever, and you just want to go do some other things for money, I mean, so be it. I mean, supposedly there's going to be, properties and stuff like that so you can eventually buy for yourself. And that's cool. Stables and whatnot. And, those are the times you should be out there fending for yourself, robbing people, doing things for money, by yourself. There's plenty of things to do in this game, solo for money and for grinding. And I love that about it, because then when your friends do come in, then you can say, okay, look, hey, you go here and do this, you go here and do that. Just kind of like the story is progressing. Like everybody has a part to play, and everybody is contributing to, to the posse, to the group, to the gang. And I like that. But I thought I'd share that with you guys, man. It's just a little something that I'm doing in the game. And like I said, when online mode drops, look out. It's definitely going down. All right. Next, I want to talk about this PlayStation Classic, man. It's coming, and the games have been announced, man. I'm gonna read off some of these titles to you guys, and a lot of them I am familiar with, or some I'm not. And, there's some that were missing and I felt that should have been on here. But, when you got a library that Sony had, which is a lot of games, everything's not going to make it. That's just the way it is. And, it's all good because some of these are definitely awesome games. Let me see. Let's start off with the list. Battle Arena to Shinden. Now, this game here, I was glad to see. I had so many good memories in this fighting game, man. It's definitely a unique fighting game. And I had many hours with my brothers and friends playing this game. Definitely worth it. And I'm glad it's on this list. We also have Cool Borders 2. We have Destruction Derby. Of course, Final Fantasy VII, the classic. We have GTA, the original GTA. Kind of like a top-down, style, if you will, if you remember. Let's see what else. Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid. I know a lot of people are going to be pleased with that. The original Metal Gear Solid. That's going to be fucking dope. Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Apes Odyssey. That's another fucking classic. Great game. Rayman, another great game. Resident Evil Director's Cut, another great game. There's a lot of them on here, man. Revelations Persona. There's Ridge Racer Type 4. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Man, I fucking love that game. I really do. Siphon Filter, the original. Love that game. so many memories on the weekends, man, playing this fucking game, man. Oh my God. Loved it. Tekken 3, of course. Can't go wrong with Tekken 3. Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. Man, I remember Wild Arms too. It was a great RPG. I had lots of fun playing that. And those are your 20 games. And, you know, like I said, there's different titles, I think, region-wise. I think in Japan, their list is different a little bit. So, you know, I'm going to try to get that list and see if I can get that list for next week's episode. I would like to know what those titles entail. But not bad at all. I mean, but, you know, $100 price point, that might have some people scratching their heads a little bit on that. But we shall see. I mean, if you're that much of a diehard Sony guy, by all means, go for it. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm waiting for the Sega version, and I'm waiting for the Nintendo 64 version. I would love to see what games they're going to put on there. And then, you know, like I said, there's a lot of games that you now, when you want to re-release stuff, you know, may not necessarily be able to put on there for licensing purposes. And like I said, it's all politics, man, here. Everybody wants a piece of that pie. And, you know, some companies are willing to pay that money, you know, per se, you know, to a company who feels they deserve or need this set amount of money to release the rights for the re-release of an old game. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I would, when I say Nintendo 64, I mean, I would love, you know, the 007 game. I mean, they'd have to have that game. You'd have to have Mario. Of course, you'd have to have Mario 64 on there. You definitely have to have, in my opinion, but it probably won't be on there, you probably have to have other wrestling titles. You know, all the THQ games, man. You'd have to have WCW, NWO Revenge. You'd have to have, you know, WrestleMania 2000. And then you'd also have to have, you know, Mercy. But like I said, that is definitely a slippery slope, because you got all kinds of wrestlers on those games who are not on those games anymore. You've got publishing, you've got all kind of shit. It would be like a nightmare to get those games back, I think. It wouldn't be so easy. A lot of wrestlers are dead now. I don't know how that would, it's crazy. But, you know, wishful thinking. I hope that, you know, we get those titles on the game. But I am getting the 64 when it drops. I definitely will be having that, because I did love the 64. It brought me so many memories that were great. Got me through a lot of things. Got me through some breakups as a kid. It was like really a dope system, man, for what it was. But yeah, you know, those are the systems I'm looking forward to coming out for. And I don't think they're going to be as expensive either. You know, Sony the price is a little high on that. And, you know, hey, it is what it is. But that's the games. And, you know, hope you guys like them. I know a lot of people that will be buying this, but I'm not going to be one of those guys. But more power to you if you do. Next, I kind of want to get into... Oh man, where should I begin? I guess I'm gonna talk about. Well, let me just drop this real quick. Let me just get this out the way for other Switch guys out here in these streets. YouTube is coming. Finally, YouTube's coming to the Switch. Yes, sir. Very soon. Right now, everybody's talking about November 8th. So like any day now, we should be getting YouTube. But I don't know how many people really use YouTube on the Switch or who will be doing that. Most people tend to go straight to the phone and whatever. And, you know, that's cool. I mean, it's cool that they have YouTube on here, but it's not, you know, it's not game changing, if you ask me. Now, Netflix would be nice. They do have Hulu on here. When Hulu came out, they never really had a big announcement. It just was there. It was just there one day, and the day before it just wasn't. You know, Netflix, in my opinion, is like the poster boy of, you know, streaming movies and content, you know, that's not YouTube. And I think that, you know, they need Netflix, because I'm a Netflix guy. You know, I haven't really messed with Hulu, you know what I mean? But I'm a Netflix guy. So hopefully we get that. And, you know, even still, you know, most likely most people are using it on their phone. So if you're traveling somewhere, you know what I mean? You know, most likely you're going to use your phone for your Netflix or your Hulu or whatever. That's just how it typically goes. gamers played with the games and everything else is set for something different. But, that's here nor there. Next, I kind of want to tackle this. I don't even know how to approach this, but gamers are not taking shit anymore, man. And as it should be. Gamers should not be taking shit because we're the motherfuckers who make the companies who they are, man. You know what I mean? If it's not for us, then they would not be existing. But I think we all know that. But now, man, you're starting to see a lot of this going around. Now, there was a recent BlizzCon that took place not too long ago. All right. A lot of people, a lot of fans of, this series, showed up and cosplay, showed up, ready to, ready for some big news, so to speak. And what ended up happening was completely the opposite. Yeah, they were looking for probably, some sign of another game, and they did not get that. There was a mobile game that they announced. Yes, Diablo from the Diablo series. They were looking for a Diablo 4 or maybe some news about it, thinking they were going to get that. They waited to the end of the show and they basically unveiled, a Blizzard mobile game. And when I say the wind left the room like a fucking flat ass ball, it did, man. They even went so far as to start to boo the fucking panel. I mean, that was a trip, man. And then, ask questions that really deserved to be asked and needed to be asked. But they had some stank on it, man. One of the guys asked the developers if it was an after April Fool's joke, that they were talking about. And they said it was not a joke. It was a debacle. It was a disaster, and they're getting cooked for it now. There's been a lot of fucking backlash behind this, man, and deservingly so. And this is my issue with mobile games compared to the rest of the video games, the consoles, the hardware, and stuff like that. It's not the same thing. And these customers, these developers are basically saying, you guys need to look at this as, you guys need to show some respect for, the mobile, the phones, because nowadays the technology is so good now, we can make, AAA games on this. No, the screen is too small. There's too many limitations as far as, the controls are concerned. In my opinion, this is my opinion. And apparently a lot of people agree with this because that's why they felt, like they were robbed. And that's why they shitted on, Blizzard when it came to this, because it's not, man. And it kills me because the reason why I don't really fuck with, mobile games is because there's too many fucking ads. It's just not, you can't get immersed in the games. I've tried. Unless it's an emulated something, and even then, 9 times out of 10, whatever you're running it on, it's running off of the 4G or whatever you have, and you're gonna get a fucking ad sooner or later. You just are. And it's not. I don't know, man. I could never completely get into the mobile game scene, and unless it's a very simple, quick type of title. I can't get in anything deep, like a Diablo on my phone. I just couldn't do it, man. And the phone batteries always end up getting extra hot, and it just, the phone is up, you have to let it cool off. It's just not, I don't think they're made to play for long extended periods of time, to play games like that. It's just not, in my opinion, it's just not how it is. You know what I mean? I think they should keep it simple and stop, doing trying to do a AAA game on a fucking, on a phone. And then you have no controller. The screen is your controller. You don't have any real feeling of the gameplay, how it plays or whatever. Like I said, this is all my opinion. And, I'm just keeping it real. It's not the same thing. And, the consumers were not ready for this. You know what I mean? And it pissed them off, and rightfully so. Especially if you're a fan of a major franchise like that, and you get a fucking mobile game. You know what I mean? I just doesn't make sense to me. That's just me. That's just me from the outside looking in. But that's what happened at Blizzard, at BlizzCon. There's plenty of videos out there in the streets up on it. People talking about it. You can check it out on Reddit. You can check it out anywhere, Twitter, whatever the fuck. I mean, it's there. But I'm kind of glad this stuff like this happens, because they need to be put in their place sometimes, man. These people, and you know, a lot of the time it's not even the actual developer. It's the fucking people over the developers. It's like the guy in the fucking suit way at the top of the tower who doesn't really know shit about games, and who's all in it for the money. He's not in it for, you know, the consumer. He's not in it for anything else but how fat can my pockets become? What's going to sell more? And you already know with mobile games, automatically comes with mobile games, it's fucking, you know, leeching, money grabbing, all that bullshit, pay to play, all that bullshit. Okay. And, you know, I, for one, am not for that type of shit, type of lifestyle. But that's just me. That's why I don't fuck with mobile games, and I don't think I ever will. Unless it's just, I mean, when you cross a certain threshold, by then it'll just be another fucking, you know, piece of hardware, a system. You might as well just, I mean, that's what, in a sense, that's what the fucking Switch is. I mean, it's ran off of, you know, what a lot of these cell phones running off of as far as games are concerned. And that's what the Switch is to a certain degree. I don't know, man. I just really believe that games should be played on game devices for the most part. And, you know, phone games are in my opinion, are different. They're not technically the same. They're simpler games like a Tetris or like a, you know, like a, I don't know. You know, those simple games that you can get, the really, really easy to play ones, the ones that you can play for 2 minutes or you can play for an hour. And it won't fucking overheat your phone like most other games, you know, highly intensive graphically games and all that shit. You know, I think those should just stay in their lane. You know what I mean? Don't, you know, another fucking Diablo game for a cell phone. Come on, man. You killed it. You fucking ruined it. That's just my opinion. And a lot of people feel this way because they're getting fucking roasted out here in these video game streets. But, and I'm going to get on to the next subject, and that subject is pretty much the same in a sense. I'm going to talk a little bit about Fallout 76, man, because Fallout 76 is trash. Let me just be the first one to say it. And I'm not afraid to say it. I don't care if you hate it. I don't care how you feel about this. This is just my opinion. The game is trash. Okay. And motherfuckers are being lazy, and they're being called out for it. Rightfully fucking so. The people are not taking any more boo-boo in 2018. All right. Bethesda is a game company who is synonymous for making fucking hits. They have huge fucking, and I do mean huge. They have huge teams working on these games. Okay. They've been doing it for years. All right. They got plenty of money behind them, and they go on and make this, which is fucking boo-boo, man. The game is trash. It's got all kinds of issues. There's kinks, there's bugs. I mean, I could go on how they do the shit. Okay. If you know, the beta, you had to pre-order the game to play the beta anyway. And they were talking about wanting to test the servers and all that, but how can you stress test if everybody is not able to jump on? I mean, the whole goal is to see how many people can actually, you give them access, and how many people that, you know, the server can tolerate, you know what I mean, to play the game, so they can go in there and they can figure out what needs to be done or whatnot. But that's not the case. That's just one issue, you know, with Bethesda that, you know, I have, and a lot of people have, you know, I've read just, I mean, God damn it. They're killing Bethesda right now. And they deserve it, man, because let me just start up and say this personally, you know, by now, it's almost 2019. You would think that this company would have already been working on a new IP as far as, you know, graphics and things of that nature, because the game is just like you're playing it on PS3 and Xbox 360. Still, that's the same graphics, the same animations, the same everything, man. It's the same. I said, okay, after Fallout 4, okay, what are we gonna get next? You know, they really need to revamp and rebuild their next game from the ground up. They do. And I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it right now. This game is going to flippity fucking flop. Okay. Fallout 76 is going to flop. Mark my words, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fucking bust. And I'm saying it now, and I will readdress this. If I'm wrong, hey, I will put my ass on Front Street and admit it and everything under the sun. I'm not, I'm a man. I'll do that. But I'm telling you, that's not going to happen. Okay. I'm calling it right now. I called it when I fucking first saw it. Something just told me, man, I feel some type of way about this title, man. I don't feel quite right. It just didn't give, I had a funny feeling, man. It wasn't, I don't know. I had to see more. Now I'm a Fallout fan. Though. That's what's so crazy. I love Fallout New Vegas. That's probably my favorite Fallout game, out of all the Fallouts. You know what I mean? But those games had glitches. Oh my God. Glitch on top of glitch. So many fucking glitches, but I love the game so much I played through the shit. But man, this has to stop though. I mean, just watching gameplay, and people, it shouldn't, this game should not be made the way it is. It should not be an online game. Fallout needs to stick to, single player experiences, immersion, the player with other NPCs and more, more justifiable lore and everything like that. This is not cool. You go around and they tell you to go see Mary. You go fucking see Mary, and then there's a dead body, which is Mary, and then there's a fucking holotape right there. Oh, okay. Well, now go see Fred. You need to go see Fred at the barn. You go to the barn. Guess what? Fred is dead, and you listen to his holotape. I mean, it's just, it's repetitive. It's trash. I'm sorry. It's no way you can, I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can put as much cologne or perfume on a piece of boo-boo, but it's still going to smell like boo-boo. Okay. It'll just be boo-boo with cologne on it. That's it. Bottom line, straight. I mean, I don't know what else to say to it, guys. And I'm telling you right now, save your fucking money. If you pre-ordered, man, please pull back. Please pull back. Pull out. You know what I mean? Don't bust inside of the Fallout 76 wrapper. Pull out. Okay? Please. I don't know what else to say. You guys deserve better. Okay? Than what they're giving you right now. And someone should have told me, that something was fishy, because I mean, a game company like Bethesda, usually, if they're doing another game, they're going to take their time. That game, Fallout 4, wasn't out too much. It hadn't been out that long. You know what I mean? And this one comes out, and then they announced Fallout 76. So I'm like, wow, they just did, Fallout 4. And not too long after that, they're doing Fallout 76. What's this? And that's laziness. That's them money grabbing, because they're like, oh, we don't have to do too much work. We're going to slap some of the, prosthetics, that we had from Fallout 4 on here, and we're going to play with the server, and we're going to make it a all online game. You could tell that minimal effort was put into this goddamn game. You can just tell. You can tell a lot of the shit was slap stickers on here, over here, plug and play. It's just lazy. These motherfuckers got all this money, all these teams, and this is what they choose to do. And it comes a time where you have to just say fucking win. You have to say, shit is over when it's over. Like, look, man, you guys, my cup runneth over. I'm not playing with you guys anymore with this bullshit. You motherfuckers need to go back into that boardroom, put down the sake, put down the fucking endo sticks or whatever else the fuck you're doing, and make some new decisions, because this is not working. And now you're starting to see what's happening as a result of that. You start playing with people's emotions out here in these video game streets, they're going to fucking expose you. And that's what's happening right now. No more are the days that you're going to eat what we serve you. You know what I mean? No, that's not working anymore. You spend your 60, 65 hard-earned dollars on something, on a product, guess what, motherfucker? It better be right, and it better be real. Because if it's not, guess what? All it takes is that one fucking YouTuber, man, to light that flame, and then it's all over. It's all over but the crying. And that's what's starting to happen now. You got motherfuckers going to YouTube and going on these forums and erasing these shutting down their own forums because they don't want motherfuckers in there telling the truth, telling on their ass, exposing them. I mean, anytime you go to a YouTube channel about a video game and you see like 225,000 fucking dislikes and you see like 16,000 likes, man, that's telling you right there, man, that you got issues. Okay. You got some fucking major issues that you need to fucking sort out. And people aren't playing anymore, man. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that this is happening. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna keep putting out boo-boo. And it's online only as well. So it's like, yo, once this, I feel bad because anybody buys this, you're gonna get fucked. Okay? Because this shit's not gonna last 90 days. They're going to put out the game. You're going to spend that money and it's going to become a fucking beer coaster in 90 days. Okay, maybe even before that. Because if nobody's fucking playing on the server, guess what? They're going to shut it down. That server won't last a year. If that. I'm being generous right now. Okay? So get your popcorn ready because, you know, it's going down. Don't buy this fucking game. Please. 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 Please don't buy this motherfucking game. Okay? If you're smart, you'll put your money on the table. No, you'll take your money off the table, put it in your pocket and walk away until further news comes out. You know what I mean? It's going to be shitty. They're going to have to do a whole bunch of updates and a whole bunch of other shit just to get this shit, you know, right. In my opinion, that's just what it is. And then you put it out right around the same time as, you know, as Rockstar's online game. So right before Red Dead Redemption 2 Online starts, this is when you drop this piece of shit, this debacle, this joke. Man, you only making it worse. You might as well just get some alcohol. Oh my God, man. You might as well just get some, I don't even know what else to say. I'm speechless. I can't even talk. You might as well just get some flammable lotion, rub it all over your body, let the lotion glisten all over your body, and then light a fucking match. Because that's what's going to happen, man. Nobody's going to be playing this shit. The same reason why nobody was really playing the beta, because everybody was playing Fallout. I'm sorry, not Fallout, because everybody was playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And you want to fucking do a stress test on the fucking beta, but what stress test are you going to get with nobody's playing, with nobody's out there? You know what I mean? And then I was listening to the radio today, listening to the football game and shit like that. And man, they are trying to push this fucking game. I'm like, yo, what? The NFL, you get commercials, you get the announcers talking about Fallout 76, pick it up, da da da. They put a lot of fucking money. That's where their money went. Their money didn't go into the game development. Their money fucking went to the advertising of this game. And that's where they're going to fuck themselves. That's where they're going to die because they did it wrong. They should have put their money into the game, into the tech. But instead they think that, you know, advertising is going to make this, is going to, you know, put enough cologne on this boo-boo that people can't smell it. And I'm telling you right now, guys, it's not going to work. It's going to completely backfire. It's already starting. The writing's on the wall. I mean, when people are already starting, this game isn't even out yet. You know what I mean? It's only out in a couple of weeks. So if the game is this bad, if the beta is this bad, what can they do? What do you think they're going to do in 2 weeks time? I mean, I think the game is officially technically gold now. It should be. I mean, it should be already, you know, I don't know how they're going to sell this. Are they going to sell it physical? I really don't even know how they're going to do this. Don't even care, to be honest. But I guess for those 576 people that are going to be buying this, they need to know. You know, look, I hope I'm wrong. I really fucking do. But the sad realization is I'm probably not going to be. And that's just the way it is. This game is a good thing for us, though. This is a good thing, just like the shit at BlizzCon. That was a good thing for us as gamers, too. And you know why? Because they'll finally hit rock bottom. They'll finally have to take a look at themselves in the mirror and make some new decisions. They'll finally understand, like, yo, we were getting away with this shit for a long time. and they finally caught on. They're not playing anymore. So now our next game, we have to make this shit right. And I mean, from the ground up, we all of that shit. Okay. And hopefully that's what will happen, especially with these big companies, these major companies, yeah, they can be some dicks at times, but I guarantee you one thing, they will eventually get it right. Enough people shit on them. Okay. And they take too much of an L. These investors start to pull out, and yeah, shit can get real quick. It can go from sugar to shit real quick. And right now it looks like it's going in that direction, for both, Blizzard and Bethesda. So we'll see, man. I mean, I had to bring this up. I had to discuss it a little bit, and I felt that I've done that. So without further ado, I'm going to close that one out. Get your shit together, though. That's all I'm gonna say to these companies out here thinking they're gonna snow everybody, or pull the wool over our eyes, and think we're just not gonna notice. So let's get it together. All right. All right, man. Last but not least, dun 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 dun. I want to talk about Dragon Ball. Yes, this movie. Oh my God, Dragon Ball Super. I mean, each time I see something new on this movie, man, I get more and more and more and more excited for this, man. I mean, the art style, I've already expressed to you guys how I feel about it. I'm in awe of it. I love the way that it looks. I love the way that it makes me feel when I look at it and watch it. You hear people talking. They're going all in, balls deep. Even though, the shit is not canon. I mean, the canon is technically all over the fucking place, and they're doing shit as they go. Like I said, just make it good. That's all I ever said. All I'll ever say about a Dragon Ball movie, you know what I mean, or a series with Dragon Ball. Just make it fucking good. Am I gonna like every aspect of it? No, and that's just because that's because there's certain characters that I really care about that I know they're not going to do anything with. And a lot of you guys probably can say the same thing if you're talking about Gohan. I mean, there's a lot of Gohan guys out here who feel like, they were invited to go out to eat to a movie, and then they waited on that fucking, on that fucking porch or that patio for him or her to come get them. And guess what? They never fucking showed. All right. And now they're in the fucking room watching love movies, eating fucking pints of ice cream, crying themselves to sleep, because that's what the fuck, a lot of people are feeling like when it comes to certain characters who they're in favor of. And Gohan is one of those. I think Gohan is a character, even though he's not one of my favorites. I mean, I still know that Gohan is being neglected. It feels just that way. It just feels like, where is he? Like, what the fuck? You got this powerful character who has had major spots in this series, and now he's just reduced to, eating at the dinner table with, the rest of the Z fighters. And it's crazy, because Piccolo is going to be in this movie. He's already been announced to have been. He's already been announced that he will be in this upcoming movie. But who I haven't got a confirmation on is Gohan. No confirmation on Gohan in this movie yet. If he ever will even be in this. I kind of figured that Tien and Krillin and those guys wouldn't be in the movie. Now, could they have a slight baby cameo, like maybe just chilling at Roshi's house, watching TV or some shit like that? Yeah, maybe like that. But anything further than that, then no, I don't think so. Tien Shinhan is one of my favorite characters. You guys know this. I'll say it again. I love this guy. Loved him in Dragon Ball. I felt that, Toriyama dropped the ball on him as far as so many things. He painted him to be this one character, and then he never followed through. Same thing, with, I'm sure Gohan, and a lot of you guys can kind of relate to that. But yeah, it just is what it is at this point. But, there's a lot of things that I am excited about for this movie, though. There are, other favorites of mine, which is Vegeta. He's the main staple, and basically he has a big part in this upcoming movie, man. I mean, technically the story, the retelling of this Broly story is going to have a lot to do with him and his father, especially his father, King Vegeta, which is another character who I I fucking, wanted to know more about. And I actually dug his swag, as the king of Planet Vegeta, man. I thought that shit was epic as fuck. And I just thought his design was pretty dope. Everything from, his temperament to, what he wears. Because he is a cold-blooded motherfucker in his own right. But he does know when power is in his presence. As he bows down to, Frieza and Frieza's father. I mean, that was fucking crazy. But anyway, this movie is definitely got me excited. I can't wait to see it. There's going to be here's some news that you guys may not know, which really just got me so crunk when I heard it. There's going to be Vegeta expressing his love for Bulma in this. So I think he's going to take it another notch. And this is something that, when I heard this, I kind of didn't know how to feel about it because, man, watching the whole series leading up to now, I mean, it might seem a little strange, other than the part where he, went off on fucking Beerus, and went apeshit on him for hitting Bulma or whatever. But I would love, like, for him now, expressing his feelings for Bulma, like, to her, I would love to fucking see that from Vegeta, man. This would definitely be a huge character development process for him. You know what I mean? And growing process from him, like because everybody talks about being stronger, being Super Saiyan, being Super Saiyan 2 and God and all this other stuff. But what about the other stuff, man? What about as a person, as a human? What about as just a all around person who realizes good is good and bad is bad. I don't want to fucking be bad. I got a family now and all of this stuff, and I would admit your love for your wife, and your kids or whatnot. That would be definitely cool. And they claim that we're going to get something from Vegeta, directed towards Bulma in this movie, man. So I can't fucking wait. Also, we're gonna get Raditz. He's been confirmed, the kid in his kid form. So he's basically Goku's older brother, but Goku was a little kid. He was like 3 or 4, I think, in this movie. And, Raditz can't be more than, 6 or 7 or something like that, maybe 8 tops. But he's going to be a little kid, man, and that's going to be cool. Nappa's also going to be confirmed in this fucking movie. And, he's going to have his little fucking bush on top of his head or whatever. That's going to be fucking cool. And by the way, Toriyama is definitely said to have been super involved in this movie, like more than he has in any other movie, man, since. So that gives me hope in a sense that, because he is good with his stuff while he's in there in the moment. Now, as far as, all the characters he's created and all this other shit, he's definitely known for forgetting characters and, abilities and this and that. And a lot of shit don't make sense because he himself does not remember certain aspects. And that's just, I guess it's just the way it is when you have so many characters that you've created over the years and, you're older and stuff, you're not going to remember all that shit, I guess. And I guess that's what we have to chalk it up to when some of our favorite characters don't get the shine that we feel they deserve. Because let's just keep it real. When you break all of it down, I mean, if it wasn't for Toriyama, would we even be having these conversations? Would we even be mad? We wouldn't have anything to be mad about if it even wasn't for, Toriyama creating these characters. If he never made Tien Shinhan, I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here bitching about, how he's underutilized and whatnot, because, I just thank him. I guess that's what I'm saying is I have to be grateful that he at least created him. I'm able to look over here at my shelf and I'm able to see him, sitting on my shelf because he was created by Toriyama. So that's really what, I'm saying. When I get hot and I get riled up over certain characters, man, and Tien is definitely one of those I could write a fucking book on and why I feel the way I feel about him and everything like that. Just one example of a character, I think about that and I say, well, let me just take a step back and chill because, you know what I mean? He did create him though. He is here. So I have to thank him for that. So, then I pretty much end it. But yeah, Broly is going to be way more fleshed out in this movie as well. If you guys haven't noticed or haven't heard, he's not going to be, you know, the Broly of old that everybody remembers him being, as just a mindless dude just trying to kill, you know, Goku for no fucking reason. And that's it, just because he was crying when they were babies. That, you know, when you look at it in hindsight, it's like, what? That was passable. So I'm so anxious to find out, you know, more about this Broly and how he is, how he's written, man, in this story, in this movie, man. And then going forward too, because like I said, this movie is kind of like a catalyst. It's kind of like a beginning to what's to come next. And you have to believe that, because fresh off of this movie, you know, it's going to be 2019, early 2019. And when we see it, and you know, Dragon Ball Super is coming back. So my question is, how is Dragon Ball Super coming back? Like, is it going to come back off of the tail end of this story here? You know what I mean? Like, could Broly be a new staple going forward in other movies, or, you know, the series in general? Like, I want to know so much. I'm so ready, you know what I mean, to find out. That's pretty much the show, guys. I mean, I wanted to, you know, touch on a couple things, and I felt that I was able to do so. Yeah, it's real out here in these video game streets, though. I must say that it's very real. I laugh, man, when I think about, you know, how these game developers, you know, thought they could get away with a lot of this stuff, man. I mean, with social media now in today's age, even companies like Bethesda and Blizzard, they can't hide. Nobody is safe from a dirty game, from dirty tactics, from, you know, lazy habits. You know, you're not safe. And if you're listening to this, man, please take heed, because that's not going to get you past all the time. Just because you had a hit, you know, years ago, I mean, you can't ride that off into the sunset. You got to keep bringing it, and you have to listen to your customers. You have to listen to the people who buy your shit. You cannot fucking, you know, see dollar signs and just say fuck everything else. You know what I mean? You just can't. Things change. Things are always changing, so you need to change with them. And right now, you know, I can honestly speaking for Bethesda, man, they have some changes to do, man. They have some things they need to be working on. They need to start a new fucking IP with Fallout. They really do. They need to, you know, rebuild that fucking thing from the ground up, and they need to stop, you know, putting out shit with mad glitches. They need to work on that. A company as big as them, you know, they have money to pay. They have money to pay game players and people and testers and all. There's no excuse for these bugs now. There are none. So I have no sympathy for these companies, man. You know what I mean? I don't. They're not some small ass indie company. There's these multi-million-dollar companies who's got money for days, and they're riding the fucking wave of mediocrity, and not even, and that's, I'm being kind when I say mediocrity. I'm being kind when I say that, because it really is lower than that right now. So let's get it together, man. That's all I'm saying. Let's get it together and stop, you know, hiding behind shit, because we will find you and we will expose you. And, you know, that goes for any game developer out here who thinks they can get away with, you know, some bullshit and, you know, trying to, you know, take shortcuts or whatnot, man. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. So you will be exposed. That's all. That's pretty much the nature of this episode, this podcast number 88. All right. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. You can always holler at your boy on social media, at Twitter at Studio MacGyver, on Instagram, Studio MacGyver79, the Facebook page at Studio MacGyver as well. Check out my YouTube channel, man. You can catch the podcast there as well. I also put videos up on gameplay, and I talk about different things, you know, anime, gaming, you know, those things like that, nerd culture, you know, how we do it. That's Studio MacGyver TV. Also, if you guys want some fucking merch, You want some hoodies. It's getting cold. You want some fucking beanies. You want some dope ass trucker hats, man. Maybe a fucking coffee mug or some backpacks, you know, based off of maybe some of your favorite video games or anime out there in these streets. Please don't be afraid to go to beautifulnerds.com. That's www.beautifulnerds.com. Nerds, that's spelled Nurdz. Check it out, man. New stuff coming on the fucking way. And show your love and support, man. With that being said, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. I love each and every one of you guys. If you're new and you have never heard this podcast before, thank you for joining us. And I hope to see you back next week. Every Monday, guys, you can catch me everywhere podcasts are heard. You can stream me on fucking Spotify. You can download me wherever, man. Just fuck with me. Studio MacGyver. You have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.